When Tennessee Democrat Al Gore's wife Tipper overheard her 8-year-old daughter listening to Darling Nikki, one of my personal favorite songs from Prince's Purple Rain album, she teamed up with Republican Susan Baker to create the Parents Music Resource Center. They and 14 other wives of legislators compiled a 15-song list of what they believed to be the worst songs on the market called the Filthy 15. It included Mary Jane Girls in My House, a classic, Let Me Put My Love Into You by AC/DC, the Prince-written Sugar Walls by Sheena Easton, and She Bop by Cyndi Lauper. That last one was especially controversial because, like Darling Nikki, it encouraged masturbation, a topic that was still very much taboo in the 1980s.
Motley Crue, Prince, ZZ Top. These are a few of the rock musicians criticized by Tennessee Senator Albert Gore's wife, Tipper. Mrs. Gore has joined forces with state and national PTA members to combat what she considers sexually explicit and violent lyrics.
Our songs about glorifying incest, there's songs about rape, thrill killing, sadomasochism. There's a song that goes, quote, not a woman but a whore, I can taste the hate. Well, now I'm killing you, watch your face turning blue, unquote, by a group that has sold 2 million copies of that particular album. They're very popular with young kids.
The PMRC sent a letter on May 31st, 1985 to the head of the Recording Industry Association of America demanding a ratings code. As pointed out by historians Julian Zelizer and Kevin Cruz, the PMRC, rather than taking a purely religious, moral, or partisan stance about the issue and calling for such music to be banned or censored, the PMRC decided to frame themselves as consumers seeking a greater degree of command over the chaos of cultural choices that were now becoming available to them and their children. This often gets lost in retellings of the Filthy 15 saga. The recording industry quickly decided to self-regulate, and in August 1985, 19 record companies agreed to use parental guidance labels. The PMRC insisted that they weren't enough and demanded legislation to form an album rating system like in the movies. The Senate began holding hearings on September 19, 1985 to a fascinated public.
People shouldn't be talking like that and having those thoughts and feelings, and we feel like one of the major problems with the teen suicide may be listening to those records.
In addition to testimony from PMRC representatives and legislators, country and folk singer John Denver and rockers Dee Snider and Frank Zappa spoke to the Senate in opposition of a rating system, and they and the music industry made it all about censorship. Said Snider, I was born and raised a Christian, and I still adhere to those principles.
Some of the album covers are very explicit. In fact, they look like they should be in Playboy or Penthouse, some of them. And they're in the record bins available to young children. But others, you can't tell. I bought the Purple Rain album for our 11-year-old, and I didn't know that Darling Nikki was on it, and I felt that it was inappropriate for her and her 8- and 6-year-old sister to hear a song describing a girl masturbating in a hotel lobby.
The Senate ultimately declined to impose a rating system. Tipper Gore would write a book and later call the hearings a mistake, saying they gave the misperception that there was censorship involved. PMRC continued its crusade against offensive music, widening the scope to music videos and TV programming, not just album lyrics. In 1988, the PMRC held a symposium in which Surgeon General C. Everett Koop said that most music videos are a combination of senseless violence and senseless pornography to the beat of rock music. He and other health officials warned that the music videos could lead to suicide, Satanism, and drug and alcohol abuse. The next year, the PMRC dutifully reported that Two Live Crew's 1989 album, As Nasty as They Wanna Be, contained over 200 uses of the word over 150 uses of the word and over 80 different descriptions of oral sex. The legality of such music depended on location, and in 1990, As Nasty as They Wanna Be would be the first album deemed legally obscene. Meanwhile, public figures like televangelist Jimmy Swaggart joined the fight against obscenity in music, leading to changes in some retail stores.
Meanwhile, the Reverend Jimmy Swaggart has taken the lead among TV preachers, calling rock music the new pornography. His charges last year were credited with dealing the most severe blow yet to the rock industry. The 890-store, 22-state Walmart discount department store chain pulled 32 rock and teen magazines as well as albums of some heavy metal rock group.
If you're enjoying Lectual Does the 80s and the corresponding I Love the 80s series, be sure to subscribe to Intellectual Media on Patreon. All it takes is $1 a month, aka 4 quarters, 10 dimes, 20 nickels to help me produce 1 to 2 high quality videos each month. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope you like and subscribe.